Hey guys, it's Shane here, and today is gonna be 12.5 notes. I'm gonna make this very quick. I've read this before. There's some parts I get kind of lengthy, but I'll try to give like the TLDR on it and stuff. So let's get right into this. Already, two changes. E cost was 50, now it's 60. Damage over Foxfire was 60 to 160, now it's 50 to 150. Mana cost was increased from 25 to 30. Overall, it's pretty much her base stats were strong, and the amount of mana that she was spending was apparently like it was too free, so she has a bit more wiser when she charms, like how often she charms, and yeah, lowering the W is reasonable because that skill is again like people's frustration from already come from where she just ults W's ignites and she kills you. So that's nice. There's probably gonna be instances where you actually live now, which is nice. It's kind of like the Z change, honestly. So overall, pretty reasonable. Another thing, Ari's very strong right now. Again, like she was even very strong before the rework. It's just people kind of like suck, which is kind of funny. Um, so whatever. She's very strong still. Gwen, this is controversial. First up, passive 1,000 cuts. Max damage against monsters was 10 plus 25% AP. Now it's 10 plus 15% AP. Bonus attack range from her E, skip and slash was 100. Now it's 50. I'm actually really curious. I'm probably gonna test how this feels pretty soon. Actually, I'm kind of curious just because, well, um, the the passive isn't even the biggest nerf. It kind of is, but like I don't think it's so substantial that it would kill off Gwen jungle. However, the E nerf is very big. You can even argue that the E nerf also hurts her ability to kite camps, which is kind of where she gets a lot of her sustain. Um, so the 1,000 cuts nerf can also seem a bit bigger than it may seem, because well, her passive's also applied if you hit the center of your Q, with your scissors with the true damage, because it also applies the passive. So when you're jungling, that actually can matter quite a bit more than you would think. It only really matters once you have an item, because before you have an item, it's essentially the same. It's essentially the same thing. It's just she doesn't clear as fast, which kind of sucks. But I don't know. Maybe she already clears too fast. Honestly, I don't know. So we'll see what happens with that. I also forget if her passive even converts to true damage or if it just stays as normal. I honestly forget. Well, I'm actually gonna find that out right now because I honestly, I don't. It's funny 'cause I play Gwen, but I have no freaking idea. I honestly forget because there's just so many champions in the game. Um. So yeah, the Q applies true damage if the center's hit. It applies. Yeah, I don't think the passive becomes true damage. So um. Yeah. Overall, it doesn't nerf her Q damage, which is actually quite big, which is what like kills Baron really fast, for instance. I don't know. Overall, like that is not the biggest nerf. The biggest nerf is their E. Again, I really need to see how this feels to actually like really judge it. But again, it's a half nerf. That's quite substantial. Um, Apparently, like, Riot's explanation was that it's something utilized by high ping players with like the lower ping you have, the more abusable it is and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Man, it kind of sucks because it's like, wow, Gwen just gets some HP regen. She's picked a lot, and then she gets this nerf. Why couldn't we just revert the health nerf? But I don't know. Overall, I don't know. I'll see how it feels. It again, it might be okay, but like, it might be okay as in, like like if because she's already on the weak slash balance side, so this nerf also probably makes her probably weak overall. Um, I I guess you would probably just buff her some other way, like I don't know. What would you even buff about her? More resistance and armor in her W, maybe? Or do you do like, um, I don't know. Do you make her Q bigger? Do you make her ultimate slow better? I don't know. I have no idea. What else? Ken's W electrical surge basic attack bonus magic damage at full stacks. It was 20 to 60 plus 60 to 100% AD. It was 60 depending on rank, so it was plus 60 or plus 100% bonus AD plus 25% AP. However, now it's 35 to 75 plus 80 to 120% bonus AD, plus 35% AP. This buffs AD cannon a lot because of attack speed builds. Like you could even do some crazy build where like I don't know, Hail Blades, Lethal Tempo. Um, AD cannon might be interesting to come back. That would be really weird. Because AD ratio is actually pretty damn good now, and 35% AP as well. Also, like it's also flat 35% AP. So that's pretty good too for this added damage. Like overall, Aken's going to be a very strong champion, very back in the harassing. Um, it's kind of like Naruto, where like if you mess up once and like aren't there for with your ultimate or waste your ultimate, like yeah, you just kind of lose the game. So yeah, it's a guy. Kennen, not she. Kennen, he. Yeah, pretty good at harassing now. Master Yi, this is quite lengthy changes. This is mostly to do with the I rarely see Master Yi actually. This is probably I don't know. Maybe it's an ARAM or low elo thing. I don't even know. Um, but apparently he's abusing like Dust Blade or something. And it's like it's just unfun to play around. Like even if it's not super optimal, maybe it's just unfun. So they're trying to encourage him to build attack speed items instead of Dust Blade. So that was Q alpha strike damage. It was 20 to 165 plus 90% AD, reduced by 75% for subsequent. Well, you know that word hits on the same target. Now it's 30 to 150 plus 60% AD, reduced by 75% on each other hit. Um, and then bonus magic damage from critical strikes was 60% plus bonus critical strike damage. Now it's 50% plus bonus critical strike damage. So yeah, overall they kind of I guess they kind of lowered the critical strike damage though. They gave a 5 damage buff early on the Q as well, but they later on gets nerfed and the AD ratio is kind of bad. However, each mark of Q Alpha Strike now applies on hit effects, including his E Wuju style. On hit effects from each hit will be reduced by 75%. I guess the true damage will be reduced from Wuju style, so that's why it's also reduced. It's just trying to encourage him to build I don't know, attack speed items, even like just not Dust Blade. They're trying to not make him build Dust Blade. So yeah, Kraken Sphere can be good, Rage Blade can be good. Um, Slower but still ready. Q Alpha Strike cooldown reduction upon attacks now scaled down with ability haste. For example, if Mastery has 100 ability haste, each on hit now reduces its cooldown by zero point 0.5 seconds instead of 1. Yeah, so if he was stacking a lot of ability haste, his Q would pretty much just always be up, so that was pretty awful to verse, I guess. Again, I haven't versed the Mastery, but yeah, that's good that they did it. They're trying to encourage him not to build ability haste, just because of how he works as a champion, because he already has so much, reset potential. Q Alpha Strike cast time no longer counts against his E Buju style and R Highlander active durations similar to W Meditate. Mastery can now activate E Wuju style and R Highlander during his Q Alpha Strike. This is interesting because um, you go. It's a what should I call it? Alpha Strike's cast time no longer counts. Yeah, so pretty much when he's casting like his Q, like instead of like I'm not benefiting from my movement speed or my attack speed, you're actually like it's prolonging it. So that's quite a big buff as well. There's a lot of times where I see the Mastery's ult run out just barely and they die. So pretty big. Ruger style true damage was 30 to 70 plus 75. No, sorry, I'm talking too fast because it's kind of late and I'm also kind of hurrying because I don't know. It was 30 to 70 plus 35% bonus AD. Now it's 30 to 62 plus 35% bonus AD. So a slight nerf just because of the changes and they don't want to be like overboard. So they're bringing this is a very slight nerf there as it scales on. Misfortune this is a very small buff. Misfortune now spawns with the max amount of movement speed granted by Strut's passive. This is mostly matters if it's like late game and you're like getting sieged on. But it's probably a bigger buff to lower elo players because I don't think many players activate their W's when walking back the lane in lower elo, so that's kind of like the Rek'Sai change where like you automatically burrow when you respawn and stuff. So that's just a quality of life thing. Honestly, it's not really much of a buff. It's a low elo buff. Samira, huge buff. Health growth was 88, now it's 94. Total health was 2,026, now it's 2,128, so 102 HP more. Armor growth was 3, now it's 3.5. Total armor was 77, now it's 85.5. Inferno trigger or ultimate was 8 seconds, now it's 5 seconds. This is pretty substantial buff because essentially she's getting like buffs like she's gotta get buff from like her shield bow nerf, so now she's like tankier without like she still builds shield bow, but like she's pretty much getting the tankiness that Shield Bow used to give her. So yeah, you'll definitely see Samira. These are huge base stats changes, like huge. These are crazy, and the ultimate is also it's pretty nice. Sorry, something fell. Let me get that. Pretty much overall pretty nice. Hopefully people play Samira. Seraphine, um, overall I think is just like to make it so like she's not so feast or famine and just like overall better. Apparently like they want her support to be better. Mana cost on her W surround sound was 50 to 130. Now it's 50 to 90. So maxing it first or second or whatever is more tempting to get because it won't destroy your mana cost. Cooldown was 26 to 22. Now it's 28 to 20 though. Gets a bit better as you rank it up. So again, they're trying to encourage you to rank it up. Shield was 75 to 225. Levels 1 through 18 plus 45% AP. Now it's 60 to 140 plus 40% AP. Um, so again, like if she's maxing this first, this is supposed to be a more it's supposed to be a power neutral thing in mid lane, but it's really supposed to help support. So like in support, if they max W, yeah, it'll help her a lot because she won't be a high level to actually benefit too much from her little shield amount for the 75 to 225. Ally shields was 50 to 150 plus no levels 1 through 18 plus 30% AP. Now it's 60 to 140 plus 40% AP. It's the same as her regular shield. Before it used to get halved, so it's actually quite big for her allies. Healing, if already shielded, was 5% plus 1.25% per 100% AP of missing health per ally in range. Now it's 5 to 7% plus 0.75% per 100 HP of missing health per ally in range. So yeah, they're really trying to encourage people to have access and support, just heal and stuff and shield. Beat drop was 13 to 9 seconds. Now it's 11 to 9 seconds. Probably to really encourage, because again, like before, it would go down in a second each rank. Now it's only going down in by 0.5 second rank. So they're really trying to encourage you to like max your W over like your E or something. So overall, it's really good support change. Really good, even like I would even say again, power neutral in mid lane, just because you can't overlook the lower mana cost. You can't overlook the cooldown being lower with later on rank. So pretty good. Xin Zhao, way overdue nerfs though. Audacious Charge was 11 to 12 seconds. And it was 11 seconds. Now it's 12 seconds. Invulnerability from his ultimate was 5 seconds. Now it's 4 seconds. Changing an ultimate like that is quite big. They rarely actually even change ultimates like in terms of like their utility. Um, one thing I'm actually surprised about. Like, well, they kind of do. Like with Viego, they nerfed the slow. I'm surprised they never nerfed Seth slow, but I guess it's just because he's a juggernaut and he kind of needs it. But yeah, the E change is actually quite big, just because like yeah, he can build a lot of CDR and you get a second from every Q hit, so he won't have this up as much as you would think to like continue a chase on you, which is quite good. And yeah, the R duration being lower is also really good because I don't know. I always felt like, man, this thing's on too long, So overall, pretty good. Gwen's invulnerability is longer than Xin Zhao's by a second now. So overall, pretty good. The only thing I don't know, like if it's not enough to nerf him, he's still super meta. I would just lower the damage or like the scaling of like, I don't know, his W or something. I don't know, something lower something a little bit. Maybe like -5 damage or on something like nerf a little bit of a scaling. Because I don't know, he's just kind of funny. Hullbreaker. All this is for range champions, the armor, magic resist, and siege and super minion bonus armor and armor is halved for range users. It's mostly probably because Graves was abusing it. And yeah, it kind of sucks for Urgot because Urgot actually really likes this item, so they might actually compensate buff Urgot. I've seen some interesting Urgot builds where like they build like Gore Drinker first instead of like Hullbreaker and stuff. So I don't know. Urgot is a very interesting champion with what you can build. So maybe it's just people not realizing there's a better build for Urgot. Maybe Gore Drinker is really good on him. Maybe Training Force is really good on him. I don't know. Like I mean, hey, let's look at Urgot really quick right now, right? Um, what kind of scalings does he have? He has base AD, just flat ADQ, flat ADW, bonus ADE though, bonus ADR. So I mean, it has some potential with Trinity Force, but is it Trinity Force so good? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's good. I don't really know. I just know it's had a high win rate, which is interesting. At least has a visual update. Again, I don't know. If they didn't change anything, it kind of sucks. That's because I don't really like some of the things. Like they made all things like less scary or gory. I guess um, I kind of like her Q. Some people kind of liked how the other one was. I think her Q's fine. Uh, I think both her overall her normal Q and Spider Form. Her Spider Form Q is very good now. I also like her Spider Form W. My issues is the explosion with her W spiraling is kind of off. Some of the colors on the web are off. Honestly, her stun, and I have some issues with clarity with her E when she launches in the air, and that's really it. Also, yeah, Death Blossom also is missing a flower on auto text, which kind of sucks. I actually never really noticed how pretty that skin is. I looked at that skin, I'm like, man, that skin is good. Like, I'm surprised. I'm surprised how good that skin was. It's such an old skin from 2012. It was a really well done skin. So it's kind of sad. It had a lot of effects on it. They really, I don't know, pulled it down. I don't know. Some mythic overhaul. Yeah, OG ownership. Blah blah blah. But you're pretty much encouraged to keep your gemstones. By the way, don't buy masterwork chests, so just keep them. What else? Some Clash stuff. You can change your rank border apparently. Oh, you will be an update look for ranked borders will be hitting the loading screen in patch 12.5. In addition, ranked divisions will be visible in game lobbies, hover cards, loading screens, and profiles. Um, some random bugs was magic footwear would be granted twice for Viego sometimes for some reason. Um, would Viego would permanently gain Talia's passive if possessing her, which is weird. Ooh, excuse me. I ate some pizza. Um, Fix the bug where Caitlyn's Q piece over Peacemaker would not deal damage if she had a spell shield created by Edge of Night or Banshee Shield. That is super obscure, by the way. Um, Fix the bug where Predator commencing stopwatches cooldowns were not correctly showing correctly in the scoreboard. Um, Yorick's being in the mist was not displaying an icon on the minimap. Fix the bug where Sona's passive power cord and power base attacks were not being consumed or applied when attacking allies while berserk. Fix bug where Rumble's overheated state would visually disappear faster than it should be triggered by his E Electro Harpoon. That's interesting. Fix bug where the main and the mist schools summoned by Yorick's R would not disappear when he died. That sounds like a really bad bug where like you can have two maidens. Fix the bug where Orin could not use his passive Living Forge to upgrade items for an allied vehicle that possessed an enemy champion early in that game. I think this is the bug that I saw a few months ago. My Orin tried to upgrade me in two separate games when I had a Trinity Force, and it never upgraded. And I swear, I think this is the fix for it. If this is the fix for that specific bug, very good. Because that bug was really irritating, and it just sucks. So, uh, yeah, apparently it has nothing to do with Trinity Force either. It's just any item was not upgrading for Viego. So that's actually really nice they found that, the reason for the bug. I kind of wonder what took so long. I don't know. We're not writers, so we can't go test it ourselves, okay? Practice tool doesn't give us all the tools. I would have found it out faster if I had the tools. Fix the bug where Karthus couldn't. Maybe it's harder to fix though. I don't know. Fix the bug where Karthus could spawn. Leave spawn before the barrier dropped at 15 seconds. I've never seen that, but that's kind of funny. Um, Velka's R would cause gameplay replays to crash. Fix the bug where champions who go berserk from run as R would not deal bonus true damage with their cheap shot rune. That's a really obscure bug. Fix the bug where Set was able to cast basic abilities if Renata died during her. No, if Renata died during his R showstopper while he was berserk. That is so freaking obscure. That's crazy. Like again, that's something you cannot get in QA. It's like that's like impossible. That means Set has to ult. Renata has to be ulting. Set needs to grab her, and someone else needs to kill Renata before she lands. Like, wow, good luck QAing that. Fixed several bugs where champions with certain items and runes would incorrectly receive kill credit and gold for killing their allies while berserk. Um, that's funny. So I guess like oh their own ally killed them. That's funny. Fixed a bug where active item cooldowns were not correctly displaying for teammates. Fixed a bug where Rek'Sai's Q Queen's Wrath Caspar did not appear correctly. I don't care about that. Don't care. Fix the bug where players will not see the honors they received in the post-game lobby while they were still being processed. I wonder if this is sometimes when like you have a long loading screen, you go and you wait to say who gets honored, and you don't see any honor. Like I think that's what they're talking about. Um, so yeah, I'm guessing. I think that's what that means. So that's good. Fix the bug where accounts above level 500 were defaulting to level 1 board. They can now be customized by selecting any prestige board instead. So that's good. And some new skins, some QB skins are all cute. You should go get them. I'll probably get to Oriana. I'll probably just get them all. Honestly, I don't really care. There you go. Sorry. Yeah. This nice and quick patch notes. Not really that lengthy. Overall, pretty good. There's a nice balanced patch and stuff, so to spruce up the place. Good. Bye. Have a nice day.